So, thank you all for coming. And as was the sort of case with our last reading here, part of what Sarah and I are trying to do here is to open our house, to create a space that folks that feel sort of too tethered to the various kind of universities and the places that we teach can have a place to come together and say, like, okay, well, we're all writers and we're interested in these things, and let's try to create some kind of community that exists outside of academia and things. So that's the sort of impetus behind our, I suppose, reading series that we've ended up creating here and things. So I definitely thank all of you for coming and really appreciate that. And so our first reader is going to be Sasha Steensen, who teaches at CSU, Fort Collins. Her first book is called A Magic Book, right? It came out on Fence a couple years back. She's got another book coming out maybe this year or next year.
Yeah, in the fall.
Okay, in the fall on Fence Books as well. And I'm just going to simply turn things over to her. Sasha's going to read, and then Anthony Hawley is going to read. And then we'll have a little break, and then our next two readers will bring the pain. Okay.
Thank you. Well, I want to thank Noah and Sarah. This is so great to be here, and I really love house readings. So I'm thrilled to be a part of it. I'm going to read some poems from the manuscript that's coming out in the fall. It's called The Method, and a little bit of background information may or may not be necessary, but I'll give it to you anyway. It takes its title from a series of proofs by Archimedes that was transcribed and then had a really interesting life sort of shuffled between the Christian and Muslim worlds. And it was a palimpsest. It was turned into a palimpsest. It was sent to Jerusalem. Has forgeries written into it, pages torn out of it. And then it was finally auctioned at Christie's a couple years back. So, and it's being restored at the Walters Art Museum in Baltimore. So the method takes its title from that, and the method also becomes a character in my book. And the first poem I'm reading simply because it has the words leap day in it. Our own dazzling variety of sex. Surely the people is grass. Light rather than line lies at the heart of the field and beyond, the Shaker village. A network of surprising asymmetry, swallow-tailed, less figural. The textual woofs and wefts threads that precede words teetering on the leap day when Ann Lee was born. A quiet fanatic hiding behind dashes, dots, triangles, small arcs the underside of a leaf. Had she said, a size you can walk into, we would have entered, but there is no straight line between belief and building. I was embraced by that object. I behaved. I was enthusiastic. I was a tree, each branch embroidered with fire. I was a calm of regulation and restraint. But I no longer believed belief was too busy to worry about composition. It's just that what we see changes as we grow more distant. Everything in the Shaker world, laid out in rows, grids, rejects the human body as a primary form. Claw feet and pedestals, with delicate objects atop, merely a keg of apple sass. Fine, but non-existent. Their visionary drawings lulled, lost among the giga, or perhaps hidden in an off-centered drawer in their perfect cabinets. I sort of started getting really sick of the method, so a lot of the poems are kind of angry at the character that I've created. And this one is a little bit of a power struggle, I think, between the method and I. Me the Odes. Method's wealth is went away, his 12th time down to the bar. He's on the outs, he stinks, he has his way with me. He is some sad sulking. He is not these things. He is not. He sats all day poking out. He rots and riles his heart. He moves underground. He bucks me off. He hangs around, loiters, gives up for Lent, the following. He carries a bell for bears to scare them off. He's tender towards me. I sell him down the river, all shitty and sorry. He's bigger than me. He's better. He's all round and his rump is lovely. He went again to the bar and lost his 13th. and shot a dart straight through the window, hitting all but me. He is his own he is. His is dead and gone, and his comes along, very scary, boo-hoo. His is one too many. He is an object that looks like an object. I love an object that looks like an object. He is an object that looks like an object. He is not. He fell a forest over and so broke his crown. A body without a head is no more to be feared than a land without a king, he said. He is himself about the ground, rolling and wild, with his own heart pounding and full of piss and fire. God bless him and his. Method is his own his, and no one else's. He looks like him and his anyway, and he eats like him and his, and so he is. Yes, hurlers. A loon hears a hunch in some sad era of elocution, some centuries ago, alone, deft. Method hurls his trumpet at a passing tree, an error, and train rolls on and trail, la la, Allah's rails lost, ill laws, la 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 la. Law, how to be a hireling rather than on loan forever, alone. Law, an era's law showing the sharpness of its teeth, an era's law showing the sharpness of its law. This plain place. Oh, in this poem, actually, I want to thank Joshua and Ben for publishing in the magazine when they were both working on it together, so I thought I would read it. Well, this plain place. Nothing has happened in this place, and it happened forever, until recently. It was forever happening amid Method's fluctuating vision. He heard rustling in the bushes, the bandicoot poking around in its pouch to pull finally nothing out. He understood the animal's sorrow to find plainly, and without denial, emptiness, where a relation ought to be, a deep and majestic blue into which one carefully places a heart, plainly steps back, places a body around a heart, steps back into a past place where only the monks, deathly afraid of nothing, turned the deaf away.